In this video, I'm going to be analysing the results from my music magazine survey that I created. It has a total of 10 questions and I asked some of the members of my target audience to answer them so that I could gather some detailed feedback in order to create my music magazine. The first question I asked was, what genre of music do you like to read? From my results, I can see that the most popular genre that people like to read about is rock. And out of the 29 people that answered my survey, a total of 12 people selected rock. The least common was country, and only one person selected this. For the next question, I asked people to vote on how important are the following articles. So these are the results that I got. I found out that the most important articles people wanted in a magazine were interviews and weekly news, and they were ranked very important by quite a lot of people. So 11 people voted interviews as very important and 12 people voted weekly news. For the third question, I asked if people think that having a single page filled with readers' opinion would be a good thing, and 13 people said no to this, so I decided not to include one when making my magazine. Question 4 was, who are your favourite bands or artists? And quite a lot of people answered this, but a couple of people skipped it. And if I actually go through it all, there's just like quite a lot of them are like quite rock, sort of in the rock genre, like Imagine Dragons, Pretty Reckless, Dark Angels, Arctic Monkey and Paul Weller, and obviously there are some other ones like Adele and Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran and Drake, who were sort of from the R&B pop sort of route. But from my question 1, I could tell that people preferred rock, so I decided to look at the main rock artists from this question. Question 5 was, what sort of freebies or competitions would people like the magazine to feature? The most popular answer, which 22 out of 29 people selected, were free concert tickets. So with my magazine, I will be including some free concert tickets in some of the copies, or maybe all of them. Question 6 was, do you think the magazine should include a variety of artists or those that are similar? Most people said similar artists, but it was quite close. 16 people said similar and 12 people said a variety. I agree with the people that said similar because I want all my artists featured in my magazine to be from the rock music genre, and also if they are quite similar, then it will be easy to link them together and it will target at my audience even more. So like if I had a huge band full of like 20 people, that would be very difficult to interview all of them, whereas if I have like 2 or 3 different artists, maybe a trio or a group or whatever, it would be easier to interview them and it would be more interesting for my target audience rather than having to read the same things about loads of different members from one band, if that makes sense. Question 7 was, what social media platform would you be most inclined to receive updates on? Order them from most to least. So from here you can see that the most common one, or like the highly ranked one, was Twitter. So most people want Twitter to be used, followed closely by Instagram and Facebook, because they are probably the most common ones, and Pinterest was the least common. I will be making a couple of different social media accounts for my magazine so that the people that don't have Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or whatever, I want it to cover everyone. So if some people just have Snapchat, then it's not going to be fair if I put all the updates for my magazine on any of these 3, because they won't be able to see them. Question 8 was, how often would you like the magazine to come out? and 18 people answered monthly and 11 people answered weekly. I think my magazine will be coming out monthly as most of my target audience would prefer this, and it means that I can gather articles over the month before, rather than having to find a new thing to do every week. Question 9 was, if you had to choose one way of purchasing the magazine, what method would you choose? 14 people chose through an app, and 9 people chose from the supermarket, and then via social media and via the internet only got a couple of votes. I think that I'm going to be using both through an app and from a local supermarket, because most people want to get it through an app, but there's quite a lot of people that don't have smartphones or access to apps, or might not even have the money to buy an app, whether it's free or costs, I don't know yet. So I definitely will be doing it from a local supermarket too, and also it will widen my audience, because people that shop in supermarkets might not check out for magazine apps, so if they see a new magazine in their supermarket, they might be inclined to buying it. My final question, question 10, was, would you prefer the main article of the magazine to feature established artists or breakthrough artists? Most people said established artists rather than breakthrough artists. I'm going to do a mixture of both, because established artists, there's quite a lot of news on them already, so I think that breakthrough artists might be quite interesting and will make my magazine more exclusive. But I do still want to include something about established artists, as that's what my target audience would like to see.